Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. This is Alpha 7.5 and this is content that I'm recording well in advance of the actual release date. So it is possible that you're watching this video and that another alpha version has already come out, but I might be on vacation at this present time, so I have pre-stocked the content, preloaded it. The scenario that I'm running today is by Jaco. And Jaco says this is the assault on Hamburg. The American ships have gained superiority in the Atlantic over outnumbered and mal-supplied German fleet. Now they have managed to break through the last defense fleet and to disable the coastal artillery. They're heading for Hamburg's dockyards in order to put an end to the German ship production. You are one of the few experienced admirals left on the mainland. Now I have a fleet from 1940, and all I have for the defense of Hamburg are 3 destroyers, 2 light cruisers and 1 prototype battlecruiser. I'll design the battlecruiser with the following restrictions. It has to have maximum displacement, a speed of at least 40 knots. The main guns have to be triple cannons with a minimum caliber of 15 inches and they can only be located on the front and the middle. And at least have 2 torpedo launchers, minimum triples. The United States is going to have 2 battleships and 4 light cruisers. And I will win if I destroy the entire fleet while keeping the battlecruiser alive. Otherwise, US reinforcements could still break through. So, interesting design. I need to have a maximum displacement battlecruiser. That means a ship of 49,000 tons. She is a really big girl. And she has to have a minimum speed of 40 knots. Now let's set that to 40 and see what I can work with. Gear turbines 2, making sure I can actually get up to that speed. I also want auxiliaries 4 and shaft 3. Everything to boost acceleration. Forced boilers and oil. Right. Let's go for a double bottom hull. And reinforced bulkheads. Many maximum bulkheads. An all or nothing armor scheme and anti-flood 2. Anti-torpedo. If I can spot the torpedoes well in advance, I can probably go a little less on the torpedo protection. And then barbettes, heavy barbette thickness, I don't want those things to get blown up. It is an advanced experimental ship, so let's say it has generation 2 radar and very good stereoscopic rangefinder for long range firepower. It's going to have auto-loaders, it's going to have electro-hydraulic turrets, and I think the Germans usually went with light shells. But then maybe white powder or tube powder to go for higher penetration. This has 10.5% chance, or sorry, 10.5% bonus to shell pen. So let's set that up as such, and then start to design the main battleship. Sorry, the main battlecruiser itself. I'm gonna have to shift my main tower as far forward as possible, and this is gonna be a really weird ship. So a minimum 15-inch guns. Minimum. It doesn't say maximum. These are Mark 4 15-inch guns. Reload in 26.8 seconds. Range 27.4. If I go for this, I get range 31.9. Reload in 40 seconds. Damage goes from 10,178 to 27,217. That is significantly more interesting. Let's see if I can get away with an... no, with an 18-inch battle cruiser. 16-inch? Well, it won't fit there. And then I'm going to have another one over here. I'm going to have such a massive 4-weight offset that I don't really know how to fix that. This is a free spinning turret, so it can go either way. I don't really want to get close to 2 American battleships, so I think 25 clicks on the 16-inch gun should be sufficient. 8-inch secondaries? Like one over there and one over here. And then put some... I think you can fit 6-inch in here. No. 5? 5-inch can fit. 5-inch triples over there. And then, well, maybe 5-inch triples over there. Although those might fit 6. Yeah, they can fit 6 there. 5 inch here. I have a 45% 4 weight offset. That is nuts. I'm going to have to make these torpedoes really big and really heavy. They're 35% 4 weight offset. They're currently out to a range of 15.3. If I make them run on oxygen, they will get less detection. And a lot more range. So now I have a range of 22.3. I can also put the funnel up there instead. And if I do that and shift this secondary farther forward, I can just add on more torpedo tubes. Torpedo tubes are pretty heavy. 37.1. It's not helpful. This thing is 1400 tons and their torpedo launcher is 131 tons. No, it has to be the secondary tower. But I can make the secondary tower a bit heavier if I add additional secondaries onto it. Now you cannot put 6 inch up there, but maybe 5, no 4. That's only 20 tons. An 8 inch turret sets you back 354 tons. A 4 inch turret sets you back 20 tons. So what if, in order to try and balance out this ship, I do it like that? So I'm going to have a very powerful 8 inch armament on the stern. And then have one torpedo launcher over here, which can probably fire in every which way. Do I have any barbette options? Not really. Standards? No, all in the back there. That's not really where I want them. Hold on. Now that I have my secondary tower so far back, I can just put this other turret back here, and that reduces me to 33.5. That's better. Then maybe I can still have a casemate secondary, or sorry, a standard or tall barbette for the secondaries here. And that'll allow me to fit another, let's say, 8 inch gun here. It's going to fire over the sides. I can put torpedo launchers down here. Gives these things a very narrow firing arc if I do it like that. It's a little better. I would like these things to be firing forward pretty much. Alright, so I have 8 tubes in total, with another quintuple on the stern. I can even add 2 inch torps here. This thing is going to have a lot of torpedo tubes. And as such, also a lot of torpedoes. 31.3. It's still too much. How am I going to fight this aft weight offset? Funnel. Yeah, engine efficiency is 100. And I'm going to need that second funnel. Let's make that an Uber funnel. That unfortunately does mean that this turret's not going to be as effective. Yeah, now it works. This turret looks really out of position here. It looks really weird. I think I can make it work, but it's still weird. And unfortunately, you cannot put a barbette just somewhere down in the middle. So I can have the turret on the barbette and then have another couple of secondaries or such right next to it. Let's say I go for another couple of 8 inch guns. No, it's going to interfere with the torpedo tubes. Okay, in that case, let's just spam out a few more, what is that, 3 inch? 3 inch. Although I'm very much doubting that did anything useful. All of this deck space is pretty much wasted with this 16 inch turret here. I mean, it's a good weapon. It's a good turret, sure. The problem is, it's going to have to spin all the way left and right, and as such, all of this deck space here around the turret is just wasted. So all of that stuff I cannot use. Now let's set up another triple launcher up here. That secondary can still fire out quite nicely. Maybe make it a bit faster. Speed is life on these things. It's also fixing my weight offset a little. Now I'm firing at long range. So it's going to be deck armor. That's going to be critical. 7-inch deck armor. I'm really going to try and fight this battle at range. I'm not interested in going out close. Alright, I guess this is it. We got 2 powder, we got light shells, less gun range, but also less gun reload time, which is comfortable. A bit less HE damage, but I think I can live with that. Because so far, I think with the 16-inch, it's more of a deterrent. And the torpedoes, I think, are the real weapon. As long as I can get in 20-kilometer range, and with that launch the torpedoes, and then bow back out. Now, as for the total armament of this ship, I have 1 quintuple launcher, 4 4 launchers for 4 quadruples, 2 triples, and 4 doubles. So it's going to be an uneven reload time, but at least I'll pretty much always have a torpedo ready. And I have 16 torpedoes spare for a launcher. Let's go. Okay, stay at range with the battlecruiser. The destroyers and the light cruiser that I have are more expendable, shall we say. I mean, I don't want them to die outright, but they're at least not mission critical. Enemy battleships here. Range 23. The game is really trying to cram all of those weapon statistics in here. Don't launch yet. What you got for my DDs? Torpedoes. Out to a range of 15. You got... what's that? 1 quintuple? Yeah, a quin. Triples. Double. Alright. Destroyer group. I need you to do a mad dash into there. We also got Niobe and Breslau. Niobe has a couple of... ooh, she has 10 torpedo tubes per side out to a range of 22. That's excellent. I can just go and torpedo those battleships before they make some really large holes in the York. So, the York. It's a weird design. I mean, sure enough, it is an experimental battlecruiser, but with a turret over there? Right there? That bow turret is still not exactly on target. Now, I believe we are heading away from the American battle group. So that means that my torpedoes are not going to be in range for quite a while. The Americans are giving chase, sort of. They're getting a little closer. Light cruisers can do only 29 knots, and my DDs can do 38.5. So that's quite a lot better. And my battlecruiser can do 43 knots. Now, what is my torpedo range? 22.3. Where are the Americans? Oh, here. 24.7. I have to head towards them a little bit. And just give the DDs time to get into position, because they need to get 15 kilometers or less before... oh, shit! Before they get torpedoes. The York takes a chunk of damage. 84 structural integrity. Ship is flooding. That was a 17-inch shell that hit the deck. That must have been a fairly lucky hit at that range. Okay, flooding's under control. And the York hasn't actually taken any kind of flooding damage whatsoever. We have an incoming light cruiser. 19 kilometers out. She's going to throw off my whole torpedo plan. York, try to target this warship here. 22.7 kilometers out on the battleship, so I'm getting very much in range. Very nearly. This light cruiser is in range. Now they have 4 light cruisers. Hold. Set it back to 2. I don't think the York is going to be eager to launch against that battleship. Not with all those destroyers in the way. Hold. York to starboard. Smoke screen up. 11.6 out. Identification 50%. But I can pretty much be guaranteed that these guys have some sort of torpedo detection system. I'm trying to get all my DDs to line up. So that we're going to have a spread coming in from 3, well, sort of 3 different angles. Yeah, York doesn't want to fire. She has 1% chance to hit that light cruiser. So pretty bad. No, don't turn. Torpedoes away, if you can. Torpedoes away from the V2 and V3. V1 is still considering it. V2, starboard turn. We're going to dance around the light cruisers, and V1 hasn't launched yet. Come on, buddy. I need a big swarm in the water. A big spread. First launcher, second launcher, third launcher. Excellent. Turn back. Light cruisers, slow down. Allow the DD some time to pass through. Light cruisers, target the light cruiser incoming. The battlecruiser still not exactly excited about its chances of launching torpedoes here. Let's just put those things in the water. That is a big spread. Alright, York, fall back. Because we cannot stand against a battleship in a straight up fight. But I can do it if I use torpedoes. Light cruiser is dialed in against the other light cruiser. 88% identification. It's going to have to contend with this spread, which is semi-cross-torped. So it's not going to be that easy to dodge. I hope that I can wipe this thing out so it doesn't warn the battleships of their impending torpedo problem. I want you guys to not be allowed to use torpedoes yet. Although I could try and torpedo that other ship there, but the light cruisers are a bit too far apart. Let's just bring them closer together. Let's see if that's going to work. Light cruiser Cheyenne has detected the torpedoes and is making maneuvers to avoid. She has sonar 2. And she has a smoke screen. Lovely. That's going to make it difficult, if not impossible, to hit her. Oh crap, you got hit again? Yeah, you got hit again. Do we have identification of the battleships? No, it's forthcoming. Now the Cheyenne herself also has torpedoes, and she sent those out against my light cruiser. Probably Niobe at this point. Let's turn back to port. It looks like the Cheyenne is perfectly capable of dodging everything. So it's not going to hit her exactly. And this other spread that came out from the V1 is not looking good. At least the light cruisers and the battleships are now separated. That's a good thing, because it makes it easier to deal with the separate ships. The torpedo salvo that was heading out towards the battleship is probably still on the way. It had to travel quite a while. Let's see, there is my battleship, sorry, my battle cruiser. And my torpedoes. No idea. Niobe's taking some fire. Time to set a smoke screen. Destroyers, turn back. You guys should be getting reloaded pretty soon. Oh, the Niobe did send out torpedoes at some point. Target Tucson. Here are the torpedoes. There's another spread incoming, but I already changed course in a timely fashion. Niobe launched her starboard launchers against Tucson. But Tucson probably is not sticking around to find out if that's going to be a problem for her. Ow. What did you get hit by? The battleship? No, the light cruisers. Consistently. 7-inch guns. Reloading in 15 seconds. Versus my 6-inch guns, which do reload faster, but pack less of a punch. And they're less accurate. 2.4. Versus their 6%. You got stereoscopic 4. And you also have stereoscopic 4. You got generation 2 radar. What's your problem? Oh, looks like the Niobe's not going to be surviving this fight. Ammo detonation. You poor ship. To make matters worse, the Breslau is about to ram her. Breslau also stand out her starboard torpedo tubes. Tucson has probably detected these by now. Yeah, she spotted them. But I'm not seeing any maneuvers yet. Maybe she's going to make a mistake. I wonder how these battleships are faring. They do have sonar 3. Here's the torpedo spread from York. And she has maximum bulkheads, anti-torpedo 3, anti-flooding 3. Yeah, sinking that thing with torpedoes is going to be a challenge. Because she'll mostly be capable of dealing with those torpedoes and just avoid them altogether. If she does get hit, she's going to be capable of pumping out the water very quickly. Come on, Tucson. Don't turn. Just get hit once. Thank you. Minimum bulkheads. That's going to kill the Tucson. I'm well and true outside of torpedo range against the battleships. New Hampshire did get hit. Tucson's down. She got hit by 3 torpedoes. She has flooding in 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments. Engine damaged and rudder damaged. And she's turning back. Rhode Island is also turning back. But I don't want them to turn back that much. Destroyers, I'm going to need you again to hunt down those battleships. Now my light cruisers are in pretty poor shape here. Niobe is still trying to torpedo. Let's try and get torpedoes out on the Cheyenne, insofar as there's any light cruiser left to send torpedoes with. Maybe the port launchers on the Breslau can work, but the Breslau looks to be in poor shape. The way that she's almost flooded on the right side doesn't inspire me with a great deal of confidence. New Hampshire's flooding is very minimal, but her structural integrity got compromised quite a bit by those 24-inch torpedoes. These are 22-inch torpedoes, so they're not as deadly, but they can still pack quite a punch. Chester, Cheyenne, and Biloxi are pulling back-ish. I can't hit that. It's too far away. Oh shit, what happened to you? Torpedo? Torpedo. Great. Alright, I'm going to hand you guys off to the AI so I don't have to manage all of you. So she immediately starts taking flooding again after getting hit by a 17-inch shell that did 490 damage. This light cruiser looks to be playing very, very dangerously against the torpedoes. That's going to be killing off the Chester. No idea I was going to land those. And they don't have an excuse either. Perfect turning radius. Sonar 3. Sorry, sonar 2. No excuse. Okay, so that is 2 ships down. Similarly, by the way, I had no excuse for getting my destroyers hit by torpedoes. Alright, York, what's your range to the battleships? Because I think the battleships are making... No, they're no longer making evasive maneuvers. Range from the DDs is 19, so the DDs still have to get quite a bit closer before they're able to launch those 15-kilometer torps. V2, please increase your speed. 16.9, 18.8, 20.1. She has a really good acceleration. Auxiliary 3 and shaft 3. Yeah, that'll do it. 28 knots, 29 knots. She does have a few torpedoes left, but she is reaching the end of her torpedo capability. Let's see, keep torpedoes out on those ships if and when we can. DD, set a smokescreen because you're coming under fire from the light cruiser. Whoa, they're actually doing damage to the light cruiser with the 5-inch guns. The Biloxi has detected the torpedoes? What? What torpedoes are you talking of? I don't even... Oh, here! Right. Probably another gift from either the Breslau or the Niobe. Range 12. Okay. Excellent. Destroyers. Target. New Hampshire. The Rhode Island also got hit. Did you also eat a torpedo? Yeah, from a light cruiser. That's what happens with those long-running 22-kilometer range torps. It's just very convenient that they run this long, because sometimes you end up, well, more or less accidentally hitting something. The ship is now in range. Let's see, where's your buddy? The V3 is over there, and the V1 is lagging behind quite significantly. Let's detach you. Have you turned to port. Try to torpedo the Biloxi if you can. York. York is coming in from this angle. Where's that other battleship gone? Oh, all the way over there. Okay. I want the York to intercept that battleship and hold off on the torpedoes. And the DDs are going to try and take care of the New Hampshire. They definitely have the range. Okay, the V2 sent her torpedoes out. She has no more ammo for her torpedo launchers, though. V3. How many torpedoes did you guys bring? Standard... No, reduced ammo for the torpedoes. Crap. That is not a great choice. Because it's going to mean that I'm... Well, the Ds aren't entirely useless. But they're less useful. York status. Range versus the Rhode Island is inside a torpedo range. Oh, goody. The New Hampshire got hit by torpedoes from the light cruiser. Interesting. Structural integrity is barely compromised though, because it barely did anything. Not against that thick plating that she has against torpedoes. That thick torpedo bulge. But that turn is not ideal. Alright, let's see if I can get torpedoes out against the Rhode Island and then turn away again. I need a spread against the Rhode Island, otherwise I'm never going to sink her. York, hard to starboard. Her turning circle is 1,077 meters. The Rhode Island's only 592. That's what you get if you have one of these extremely long warships. Just makes you a big target and gives you a really big turning circle. The light cruisers, at least, are still packing plenty of torpedoes. And they keep lobbing them, well, not quite over the horizon, but definitely not too far off. Let's see. V3. Do you think you can torpedo the Biloxi from here? That'd be helpful. If you could torpedo the Biloxi. York has just sent out her torpedoes. She's turning back out. Range of 16.8 against Rhode Island. Target Rhode Island. If I can get rid of the battleships, then I can push in with the 8-inch and start dealing with the light cruisers. Let's see, V3, any chance? Yes. Well, very little in fact. She has sent out just 3 torpedoes. That's not quite what I was hoping. Oh, there's the rest. Yeah, but a spread of just 3 torpedoes is nothing. That's not going to work. I need more. Hold your launchers. You're still relaunching a triple. Reloading a triple. The V3 also has triples available, but a limited amount. Just 6 torpedoes. As opposed to the York, which still has plenty of torpedoes left. Biloxi seems to be heading away. And I think she already spotted the torpedo. Probably this spread over here. So that's never going to work. New Hampshire detected the torpedoes as well. That's the Rhode Island. Where's the Hampshire? Oh shit, you're leaving? She narrowly avoided getting hit there. Let's see, what are you guys doing? Shit, he's leaving. That's not what I want. I want that guy to stay here so I can get torpedoes on him. Because otherwise, it's going to be very hard to intercept him. York, come back. Here's the large torpedo swarm heading out to meet the Rhode Island. She's probably going to spot them. But it's a big swarm, although there is a big gap here as well. This can go either way. Either I'm going to land about 4 or 5 torpedoes or nothing at all. And judging by her positioning, she might very well end up in that gap. She has now detected the torpedoes. She's turning to port. So this whole group is going to be avoided. If I get lucky, she might get hit by these. But I rather doubt it. New Hampshire's really far away. Oh no. Fire on the Niobe. Not even sure what the Breslau's up to. No hits on Rhode Island. All the torpedoes sailed by perfectly harmlessly. Have I done any kind of damage with guns? No, nothing. Oh, flooding on the York. It's going to slow her down too. 37.8. And holding steady. 37.7. There is one more way that I can try and take down the New Hampshire. And that's by ramming it. It's more of a last-ditch effort than anything I really want to consider. But it is an option. Try and torpedo the New Hampshire from your current position. I'm going to try and have that thing at least slowed down a bit more than it is. It still has a damaged engine. She's doing 20 knots out of her original 29. Go aggressive. Come on. You got 15-kilometer range. Send them. Oh, she's heading away. In that case, not so much. Your speed is 18.8. So the New Hampshire, even in a weakened condition, is still faster. Crap. Niobe is also very much at the edge of her torpedo range. Not so much right now, but that battleship is heading away from her. York. 35-2, 35-1. Rhode Island's 19 clicks out. The other one, 23-3. At least it looks like the light cruisers are not actively throwing out a whole lot of torpedoes anymore. V2, V3, prepare torpedoes, starboard side, target New Hampshire. Don't launch yet. Speed on the Niobe, 12 knots and 6 knots on the Breslau. That's bad. Oh crap. I just say they're no longer actively throwing out torpedoes and then I got hit on the V3. Alright, V3. Detach. Activate torpedo tubes. Oh shit, that's the V2. No. Oh fuck, the V2 just launched. V3. Active torpedo tubes. Torpedoes away. Incoming torpedoes. V2, head starboard. I think that light cruiser is going to do everything it can to intercept me before I reach the New Hampshire. As well it should, of course. V3 is healing up. She's pumping out the water. York, range, 15-3. Looks like she might have already torpedoed. Back to starboard. I have landed 1 hit out of 234 shots fired for 126 damage. That is really, really low. She's done 992 damage, most of which is with torpedoes. And the rest is just a bit useless. Damage on the funnel of the New Hampshire. New Hampshire is ducking away behind her light cruiser escort, so ramming those ships is pretty much out of the question. Niobe, range 17. Turn back V2. I'm actively using the V2 as a bit of a torpedo magnet to make sure that the rest of the group does not get torpedoed. I think that the V2 can, at least in her current state, still take it. I mean, I don't want her to get hit by a torpedo. But overall, I think she'll survive. Simply because she's agile. New Hampshire's at 13. I still don't have the range. I might have the range on the Biloxi. There goes the V2. See, she had the survivability, but not when you suddenly get hit by a 17-inch shell. That's gonna throw a big shell in the wrench. Or, yeah, in the works. Oh, crap. My fire control got damaged. How are the torpedoes looking against my target? If I can still see them. Yep, torpedo hit on the Rhode Island. Potentially a second one coming in. The rest of that spread looks fairly harmless, although one might hit the Cheyenne. Second torpedo hit. Another flooding inflicted on the Rhode Island. Cheyenne seems to be desperately trying to avoid that 24-inch piece of death coming her way. I think she's going to get away with it too. Yeah, she's perfectly fine. Rhode Island, 2 damaged engines and a bit of flooding. But outside of that, nothing. I have no more actively operational destroyers. They're all either heavily damaged or too slow to be useful. Niobe is in range. Let's see if she wants to torpedo the already wounded Rhode Island. Rhode Island's doing 23 knots and slowing. And we still, of course, have the very, very wounded Breslau back there. But I'm not even sure what she's doing. She still has a lot of torpedoes. And all of these side mounted as well. There goes the V1. Due to heavy flooding. Yeah, you got hit by a 7-inch shell twice. That's going to put you down. I don't see myself winning this scenario. Smoke up. Because now you're going to receive all the attention from these ships. Target the Biloxi. Torpedoes away. Turn back. York? York just got hit again. Oh, and again? Jeez, these ships are accurate. New Hampshire firing with 4.7% accuracy. Stereoscopic rangefinder 4, generation 2 radar. I think the York is going to go down fairly soon. And sure, I've inflicted damage against both battleships, but it's not enough. I need kills, I don't need random damage. Oh, speaking of damage. Cheyenne just took a big torpedo hit. Yeah, Cheyenne's gone. That's good. That just leaves the Biloxi, and then the battleships. Of course, the battleships. Speed on the battlecruiser is now 29.6 and dropping. Most torpedo launchers are ready. So let's just send those. Torpedoes away. Hard to starboard. Our light cruisers are getting hammered. I really hope that those torpedoes are going to hit the Biloxi, otherwise it's going to kill me. Pretty quickly too. Those 7-inch guns are starting to really add up. Whereas my 6-inch guns are barely doing any damage. What's the orientation here? 2 bow, 2 stern. Yeah, but you probably have a ton of damage instability. Target fast speed is minus 58%. And I have only 9% damage instability. Okay, so that's not too bad. Biloxi has detected the torpedoes. I'm not even sure where the torpedoes are. Now, I recently moved my desk, and now my screen is getting a whole lot more sunlight on it, so it's actually getting quite difficult to see. I think these are some of the torpedoes. Unless those were from a DD. Those were from a DD. So maybe those are the torps that the Biloxi has detected. Shit. York now has 2 damaged engines and a damaged fire control system. New Hampshire. They're both pretty slow. York. If you can, launch your starboard torpedo spread. Look at that ship. Is this calm seas? Smooth waves. Well, that's debatable, considering how much water is flushing across the deck. It's not that light. Come on, buddy. If you want to have any kind of a chance to sink these, I'm going to need you to do damage. I'm going to need you to launch your torpedoes. She just seems reluctant to do so. We got 19 clicks here and 20 there. Target New Hampshire. The light cruiser is now working over my destroyer. 8.3. Yeah, that thing's toast. Niobe, what's the range to the battleships? 20.6. Fuck, did you just get hit? Yeah, you did. No, sorry, that's been a while ago. No, it's not recent. Please tell me the torpedoes against the battleships are going to do some kind of a damage. Because I really, really need it. Oh, here are the torpedoes. They're still about, what, 7 clicks out? Yeah, 7-2, and approaching. Rhode Island might have already spotted them. And the Rhode Island is no longer where it was when I originally started engaging it. York has sent out her starboard. At this point, I'm not sure. I still have the aft launcher. Where's that spread? Was it about 7-2? God, it's really hard to see. Here. Here and here. York's down to 49% structural integrity and 66% buoyancy. Just dump it if you can. If you have torpedoes, send them. Fuck them. Hard to starboard. I feel like a sort of revolving torpedo turret at this point, because I'm not really doing much damage with the guns, if at all. No, the guns have fired 322 times, and I've exactly hit once. 0.3 of my hits have actually done something useful. Torpedoes, 1 hit, 3 flooding, so 4 hits total, nothing, nothing. Lovely. Not for lack of trying. And I have my quintuples, which are now out of... Oh, sorry, that's the stern quintuple. That's out of ammo. There's another big spread coming out. York, maintain course. Rhode Island, please take a hint and get hit by torpedoes. How are you guys faring against that light cruiser? Oh, Jesus, she's really close. Smokescreen up. Fuck, there goes Niobe. Misplayed. I was too busy trying to keep my battlecruiser alive that I completely ignored the light cruisers and the threat that the Biloxi has been posing. Torpedoes out against the Biloxi. Good luck hitting anything with that. She got hit again here, the York. She's now down to 39% structural integrity. I did hit a torpedo. What, against the Rhode Island or against the New Hampshire? Against New Hampshire. She hits the light cruiser for 2,943 damage. Jesus, those 17-inch shells, if they hit, they can almost cut a ship in half. Range, 20 kilometers. And they're still getting a solid 6%, 7%. They get good accuracy, these guys. There is a torpedo spread coming in. Maybe from the sinking Niobe. But it looks perfectly harmless. Here's the incoming torpedo spread against the Rhode Island. But that too is not going to do anything. I don't see myself winning this fight at all. I'm just going to get slowed down even more. I'm now down to 19 knots. And you can bet those battleships are liking it. Because they have no trouble hitting me. Seriously, one hit out of 363 shells fired. I thought the German range finding system and accuracy was their specialty, but arguably they need to improve on that. There's a torpedo speeding against the Rhode Island. Maybe that's going to land. That would be nice because it's going to take down the ship a bit more. Looks to be in a good spot too, where she has not flooded yet. There she is. Now she's flooding. But these battleships are just too survivable against flooding. Loads and loads of torpedoes here. How's the Biloxi doing? Perfectly healthy. She's been doing 4,000 damage and she's only received 323. I am actually somewhat surprised that she hasn't killed the Breslau yet. But she's probably not going to be too long now. And she's probably been detecting torpedoes a long time. Yeah, detecting torpedoes again. Yeah, it's very hard to hit this guy. Now, with the York running out of torpedo ammo, I think it's pretty much GG, because I have no chance of sinking these ships. I know that there are some more torpedoes somewhere. Good luck finding them again. Oh, here. She's down to 28% structural integrity. Now, in my defense, these are big battleships. This is 71,000 tons. That means that between the two of them, they have 142,000 tons versus my 49,000 tons. New Hampshire got hit again. It's like we're slowly wearing them down. But a bit too slowly. Okay, another couple of torpedo hits on the Rhode Island. Buoyancy's dropping quickly. Very quickly, in fact. But what? How did that happen? You landed a torpedo? The York? Well, I bet you didn't see that one coming. I sure as hell didn't. Those torpedoes were not even aimed at the Biloxi. Those torpedoes were supposed to hit the battleships. And instead, they ended up hitting the Biloxi. Wow, that is an unexpected event. There is another torpedo, and the Rhode Island looks to be in the clear. But the New Hampshire, not so much. She's going to take another two. She's again flooding. Rhode Island's down to 33% with 3 damaged engines. She's going 13 knots and slowing down a bit. They still have good accuracy. These are still dangerous ships. Flooding has been stopped on the New Hampshire. Oh, they're both getting quite low. Maybe there is a chance yet. Still only one hit out of 415 shells. My god. Now the amount of torpedoes that the York has been throwing out, I wouldn't be surprised if I accidentally land another one. And I know that the Breslau still has some. Oh, finally, you actually hit something and you flooded it. Alright, she just launched another set of torpedoes. That was one of her bow launchers, which are now out of ammo. So that's both the bow section and the stern section. Leaving me only with these ones here, the quadruples. So that's yet another salvo out. I have 13 torpedoes left, that's it. And a couple of guns. She's down to 20% buoyancy. New Hampshire's down to 23%. Breslau, try to send out torpedoes. York, please don't die. Target New Hampshire. Because I think we have enough torpedoes out on the Rhode Island that she might succumb to them. Rhode Island has detected the enemy torpedoes. That's one thing. But can you do something against it? I'm still not seeing the torpedoes. That looks pretty close. Now, Breslau, you're very heavily damaged, but you still have torpedoes. Oh, she can only do circles. Haha, funny. She can only do circles because her rudder, I think, has been either blocked or just cleanly blown off. So, as much as I would like, I cannot really dictate which torpedo tube she's going to use. Haha, funny. That's the Hampshire. That's the only ship you might hit. No. I sent out lots and lots and lots of torpedoes, but the question is, where did they all end up? Jeez, it's very hard to see. New Hampshire doing 10 knots. Rhode Island also doing 10 knots. They're both steady at speed. I'm going to seriously run out of ammo. Oh no. That was a big hit. Down to 14% structural integrity and flooding. Oh no, there's more. Aggressive torpedo launch. I think I'm down to my last few torpedoes. Hard to port. Another fire. Lovely. Now these ships at 10 knots might have an even better turning circle. So hitting them just got even harder. Breslau, range? Out of range. Crap. New York is still somewhat maneuverable. She can only do 15 knots. These battleships are still lobbing shells, and they're not going to run out of shells anytime soon. They still have 560. So do you have more rounds than usual? No, standard ammo complement. Could have fooled me. Oh fuck, that looked like it hurt. That's it. That's the last salvo. Alright, if we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out in style. Charge the battleships. Because we still have loads of 8-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch ammo. We're just not likely going to get into range to use those. I think all the torpedoes that were launched by the York have at this point sailed past their targets. Because they're not terribly quick, but they're definitely faster than that. They're 49.5 knots. Oh, hold on. Salvo here. That could put down the Rhode Island. And that would just leave the New Hampshire. No, this is not looking too bad here. Bingo. Target hit. Rhode Island. Ammo detonated. So I'm just dealing with one battleship versus an exceptionally heavily damaged battlecruiser. Good luck with that. Is there any chance that my torpedoes are going to accidentally hit the New Hampshire? I really don't think so. Most of my torpedoes were launched against Rhode Island. Oh, there's another fire. Although at this point maybe the York has damage saturation. I'm about to run out of main ammo shells. I have 41 shells left. Versus New Hampshire's 513. And a lot of accuracy. Belt armor, 12.8 inch. Although I'm probably hitting their deck. She has a 7-inch deck. Effectively 14 inch and change. Whenever you're in range, just try to fire. I very much doubt that an 8-inch is going to impress this battleship. But who knows? Maybe I get one random hit from an ammo detonation and I sink that ship. It's just the bow turret here. Oh, 9%. I'm flooding again. We're trying to burn down the New Hampshire. Oh, another one. New Hampshire, stop. 19% chance to hit me. If we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down as a valiant struggle. Another fire. These guns don't care at all about armor or angling or whatever. It's just straight up penetration at this point. It's bow belt, mid deck. Yeah. With maximum bulkheads, even if I set a whole bunch of fires, she's just going to put them right out. Her secondaries are only consisting of 5-inch shells. But at this point, I think the armor on this ship has taken so much already that even 5-inch shells are going to be a big threat. She just destroyed a secondary gun. I'm down to my last 5 shells. Another fire. Come on, make it a valiant effort. Best speed? 12 knots. But this battleship is more amused than anything else, I think. And she's now at 29-kilometer range from the Breslau. So the Breslau, well, she still has torpedoes that could sink that ship. She just is completely out of range, and she'll never hit. 6% structural. I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 good shell hits to impact the York, and that'll be GG. Now, to be fair to the German ships, they have done a fair amount of damage. The enemy has done 22.8 thousand damage. I have done 24.8. So I've done a bit more damage. But they just had too much. It's too powerful what these guys had. Oh, I'm now officially out of 16-inch ammo. Great. Alright, New Hampshire, just finish the job, will you? Don't go soft on me now. Flooding. There's not that much to flood anymore though on the bow. Everything is already flooded. If you're still here, while the video has been running for an hour, congratulations. I admire your persistence on watching the vid. Range, 6 clicks. Even if I do ram this ship, I don't think I'll sink her. Range 5-7. Why are you not killing me? Not for lack of trying, but I'm just not losing structural integrity nor buoyancy anymore. 5-1. As long as I have a rudder and an engine, I can still turn this whole thing into a weapon. 4-8. Still, 6 and 9. It's not changing. Range 4-3. Speed on the York, 12.5 knots. Speed on the New Hampshire, 10 knots. The 8-inch guns are very valiantly trying to do damage, but their effectiveness is really limited. They can pen at a range of 2.5 clicks, 19 inches of belt armor though. So we should start seeing increased damage. The problem is I'm flooding again. It's going to slow me down. 3 kilometers out. Buoyancy 3%. And she burns up and she has a flash fire. And that's the end of the York. And with that, the defense of Hamburg is done. The only ship that survived on the American side is the New Hampshire. She put up a fantastic fight and dished out 16,000 damage while taking 2,400. So yeah, it doesn't really impact her that much at all. Still, I hoped that the torpedoes would have been more effective. But I really didn't dare get any closer with the York. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What was it? Jaco, thank you for sending in the scenario. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I shall see you guys soon for another video.